Where do we as human beings go from here? To those that truly care and want to see change, be the change. Don't question the next person's lack of motivation. Be the motivation. Don't ask what you can do to help. Instead, follow your heart. Use your knowledge, life experiences, privileges, and respective platforms to speak out for those that have no way to speak out. Be the ears for those whose voices continue to fall on deaf ears. Be the change. This week on the very first episode of the Slide Through podcast, I got a couple of my homies sliding through to sit down with me and talk about some of the very important topics that we have going on in America right now. So kick back, take note, and whenever you're ready, just slide through.
All right, let's get to it. What it is. All right, what's going on, everybody? It's your man Chris in here for the very first episode of the Slide Through podcast. I transitioned over from the Slide Through Saturday, bringing y'all something fresh, something new. It's going to be the same thing. Have people slide through every now and then, check me out. Sit down with me, politic, talk shit, and do whatever we do. You know what I'm saying? And I'm going to have it up on all platforms as soon as I can. But right now, I'm going to have it on YouTube. So definitely make sure you check that out. Today, man, I got my homies with me. I got my homie Ron, Paul.
What up? What's going on?
Coming through to kick it with me. What's going on, fellas?
Can't call it, man. It's hot as hell outside.
Yeah.
I'm glad it's hot because all that damn rain was getting on my damn nerves.
For sure, man. I look, I was just getting tired of the cold weather. The rain was getting on my nerves, but the cold weather, that shit had to go. I'm glad this.
I'm saying the rain got on my nerves because I just cut my fucking grass and I gotta cut it again.
Hey,
man,
look,
the rain get on your nerves, bro. That's the best sleeping weather, bro.
But that go hell, I got shit to do. I don't want to sleep all day.
Hey.
Okay, look, we're not gonna sing that song because we ain't got no females here. Okay.
Hey, I mean, you know, it ain't even summer neither, so.
Oh, it's about there.
It's close enough.
It's hot like it's summer, but it ain't summer yet.
Yeah. You ain't even gonna have the same summer no more. Everybody gonna be in the house.
No, we about to fuck shit up for the summertime.
Man,
I know I am.
Yeah.
I'm be
I
outside
ain't
for real.
passing that Rona
Look,
around nowhere.
That shit don't survive under 85 degrees, over 85 degrees. As soon as that shit hit 85, look, we out there in the streets.
You trust them scientists?
We out there in the
Do you
streets.
trust the scientists?
I trust my motherfucking ability to research shit.
I don't trust none of the information given, because one minute they'll tell you something, then the next minute they'll contradict that. I just think it's all of them. Right now, I just
It's
think
a man-made virus. That's what it is. They got the
Might
fucking cure
be.
for it. It ain't no bite to it. It is.
I mean, all viruses is man-made. It ain't none of that shit.
Yeah.
All that shit synthetic, made
They
by
done had this
somebody.
shit for like damn 5 years, and they're just now letting this shit out.
Deploy. Somebody pushed the button, and here we are.
man, I'm telling you, I don't care whether it's man-made or not. Don't want it.
Y'all, I definitely don't want the
Keep
shit.
it.
But shit crazy. But I mean, we did have some shit lined up for today, man. But with all the stuff that's going on, I kind of wanted to get y'all in here and talk about all the shit that's been going on since Memorial Day. I know everybody's heard about the brother that got killed in Minnesota, George Floyd. George Floyd. Was it Floyd or Lloyd? George Floyd. They got killed in Minnesota by the officer who was just kneeling and had his knee on his neck for 8 minutes and 46 seconds. They clocked it when the bystander was sitting there videotaping it outside of a convenience store. And it was all over a counterfeit bill. At first, I heard it was like a check or some shit, but it ended up being supposedly over a counterfeit $20 bill. So they said, because what I found out was that convenience store was like the best place to find menthol cigarettes in that area. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that's where everybody would go to get their menthols.
Yeah.
So he was in there. He went in there to make the purchase or whatever, and they said that he had slid them a fake 20 to buy cigarettes. And whether he knew it was fake or not, I don't know. We'll never know that because, I mean, the brother gone and can't defend himself now.
True.
And they said they spotted it. They went outside to confront the man. They was calling the police while he was, trying to confront him. The clerk demanded the cigarettes back, but he was like, "Nah, I'm not giving the cigarettes back. I done paid for them."
Right.
And so they called the police. That was a little bit before 8 o'clock. I think they said they got there around 8:01. Was trying to arrest the guy, get him on the ground, and he was like, resisting.
Yeah.
The clerk said that on the phone they said that he was drunk or whatever. He resisted. They said they was trying to get him into the car. They couldn't get him into the car. He may have like sat down in the seat of the car or whatever, but the officer Chauvin, I think that's his name. Chauvin or Chauvin, something like that. That was the officer that pulled him back out the car, put him on the ground, restrained him, put his knee on his neck for 8 minutes and 46 seconds, and killed that man. And in the days since, I mean, there's been a lot of backlash, riots, protests,
Right.
all in Minnesota and all across the nation too. So, what I want to know from y'all, and I will add that they have since arrested the officer, that particular officer. There were other officers on the scene. I don't think
they
they've
just
been.
got him.
They just got him.
Yeah.
But the other ones got fired though.
They did get fired.
Yeah, the other four the other three besides him got fired.
Okay, so they did charge him.
Mm-hmm.
Do y'all think the charges were justified?
I do, but I'm saying he shouldn't have got what they say 3rd-degree attempted murder charge. I'm saying if this man sitting here telling you I can't breathe, and I was reading and I seen a video that somebody was kind of trying to make fun of it. They was like, if you telling me you can't breathe, how you breathing if you talking? So I was using this analogy with my homeboy yesterday at the shop when I was getting my hair done.
Yeah.
If I punch you in your chest, but then you can't breathe, so I'm saying, but you can still be able to talk, but that don't mean that you can actually fully be able to breathe to where you getting enough air to be able to get enough oxygen to your brain and everything.
Right.
I'm saying you cutting the airflow off. I'm saying just
sure.
because, if I was to choke you, you can still breathe through your nose. But
Right.
you know what I'm saying? Like, how you gonna say that this man he should be okay because he's still talking, but you cutting off the circulation to his his brain, all that stuff. So I was like, that was kind of messed up to me. But back to the question, I'm saying, no, I think he should have actually got how would you say
He should have got charged. Like he should have
a
got
full regular charge. 'Cause
Yeah,
I'm
he
saying,
should have got 1st degree.
Yeah, and I'm saying that should have been it because I'm saying this. First of all, the man laying on the ground, hands behind his back, and you sitting there with your knee on the back of his neck. Like, come on now, he ain't fighting you because first of all, you got him under the tire wheel. You know what I'm saying? And
Yep.
his neck is right there by the tire too. So I'm saying,
And he
ain't like he can't go
handcuffed.
nowhere. I'm saying,
Handcuffed.
and then you got 3 other officers that's directly right there with you.
Right.
So what kind of threat does this man pose now? So, like I said, he should have got actual a full charge. Like, he really killed this man because that's what he did.
Yeah, I mean,
What you think, Paul?
The charge is justified, but that's just part of it.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, we all know they done bought charges on many cops before.
Right.
Now, whether it goes through and actually they follow through with it because it is a system.
Right.
And that's just one step in the system. And as far as people are always making that, he could talk and he could breathe. I mean, if he could, he could. But at the end of the day, he's dead. So that's what we should focus on.
Right.
It's just the death. It ain't on whether he could breathe or couldn't breathe. He died. And I
Unjustly.
heard some autopsies came out, but I think now as a country we're at a place to where it's hard for us to believe stuff.
Well,
Believe the word of the system. It's those autopsies are done by the system. That's part of the system.
right.
So
I
that's
get what you're
another
saying.
part that we can't always believe because in that autopsy they tried to say it wasn't from any strangulation or anything like that. But I don't know if I believe it.
Right. I mean,
I just
and
know someone died. The result was someone died. You was there. You could have helped. You didn't. Matter of fact, the hold that you used wasn't part of your police training. That was not a police okayed hold. It was-
Right.
you took it upon yourself to do that.
right.
So
That's
you have to
not-
be judged on that.
That's not anything that you're supposed to do in any type of like law enforcement, security, and they was both security guards. Like they both worked at the same nightclub together
Yeah.
as security guards. Like one dude was a security guard, the other dude was a bouncer. They both worked together at the club. And the club owner even came out and made a statement saying that she had issues with Chauvin being like an authoritative type person, like always wanting to
Super
bump heads with
aggressive.
people. So, I mean, he got a track record already. You know what I'm saying?
To add to that, I'm saying they had said that he already done beat 3 cases prior to this just happened. I'm saying
Who he had?
yeah, that the cop he had 3 of prior cases that he beat, where like you said the authority he was abusing his authority, should I say?
Right.
So I'm saying he had a lot of complaints, but 3 cases that he had against him he beat. They said he had like 2 or 3 other cases that's still pending right now, but now this is gonna take the forefront because of this man's death.
He was probably one of them motherfuckers that got picked on in high school and shit.
Like Officer Doofy.
Yeah, he probably got picked on in school and tried to, get him a little badge and a gun and think he was hard and, wanted to enforce his shit in the streets or whatever.
Yeah, and it's like a false sense of security sometimes at the offices.
Mm-hmm.
I know I'm friends with police officers. And I was talking to one of them, and I was actually going to do a show where I wanted to invite a police officer to come meet some of the minorities in the community,
right?
Because I wanted them to understand, like, if I seen you when you was a little kid growing up, I know you ain't a threat.
Right.
I know you're not a threat.
Right.
Yeah, you might make mistakes like other kids do, and you might do something wrong, but I know you're not a threat.
For sure.
Because one thing we got to learn how to do is we got to break down that barrier of them feeling like we're always a threat. And I know that's a hard thing to do for them, but I think that badge sometimes it gives them that false, because they know it's basically that they're not a gang. They're not a gang. It's just I know you got my back no matter what. So if I mess up,
that's a gang. That's a motherfucking gang. I don't care how you slice. That's a gang.
Right. But it's or a fraternity.
That's still a gang.
Yeah.
Can't call it fraternity and gang.
No, you fraternity.
I know what you're saying. I know.
Yeah. I would take fraternity.
That's
another level.
But all I'm saying is like, it's.
But you still taking oaths. And shit like
you take an oath, and I think sometimes because I've even had some people that I know that has become cops, and I talk to them. They're young kids. I'm a manager at a store, and some of my employees done become cops, and I talk to them. I mean, I think fear sometimes drives us too much, like as people.
Right.
True.
We let it drive us too much. Instead of love, we let fear drive us.
I feel you.
And that's not a good thing to do. And that's what leads to this, though. And
I mean, it is, to me, it's fear and ignorance, like lack of knowledge. Like, there's a lot of hatred in this country, and a lot of people don't even know why they hate people.
True.
You know what I'm saying?
Blame for the lack.
That's how people raised.
So that's what I was thinking.
You know what I'm saying?
I was like, take ownership of the fact that you don't know something and go figure that. Go get that knowledge.
True.
It's easy. Like, I'll be honest with you, man. I grew up. I grew up on high shows, and it's not the most diverse. Not the most diverse.
True.
Like, I was the only black kid most of the time in the school. I was the only black kid in the whole school.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember growing up, man, they used to treat me like I was an animal in a petting zoo, bro. Like,
Cause you don't want to touch your hair and shit.
Like, let me touch your sideburns. Ooh, they so soft. Like, hey, I don't know.
Can I touch your hair?
Let me touch your hair. And then it's because of lack of knowledge. And the thing is, do I fault them? No, but at the same time, I think sometimes us as black people, we want to know that you understand that, some of the stuff we did was a little, it was wrong.
Yeah.
Just acknowledge it. It ain't the fact that you got to go back and change it because you can't.
Right.
Just acknowledge it,
And a lot of people don't try to acknowledge it. They try to
cover it up.
Yeah, cover it up or justify or just
Make an excuse.
Yeah. If it's a rebuttal, then don't say shit. You know what I'm saying? It's like, okay, I understand. If you just say, okay, I understand, or go forward from there.
Well, I'm saying, use the analogy of the lady that was in Central Park.
Mm-hmm.
Where she was supposed to have her dog on the leash, and they had a sign clear over stating a black man was
I saw that.
recording
Okay,
and stuff, you know what I'm saying? And she was like, I'm going to call the police. But like, woman, you're not even following the rules for one.
Right.
I'm saying, so then now the police don't come out and everything comes out and you was in the wrong. Now you're trying to make a rebuttal.
Mm-hmm.
And from that, she worked at a finance company and got fired because they said that was being racist. I'm saying, so you know what I mean? Like, they not going to tolerate that.
No.
Because I'm saying,
that's bad for that's bad for their business.
True.
And, it should go against their morals. You know what I'm saying? So, they did the right thing by letting her go. And hell, where the hell Peter at? She was choking shit out that dog.
What?
God, dog.
Yeah, Peter be out here throwing paint on everybody.
You know what I'm saying?
Fur coats, but you see a
This
woman
lady dragging
yanking
that damn
dog.
And that
was
dog,
strong arming that dog.
That dog jumped up and she just had like, hey, yeah, come here.
The fuck? Like, what you doing? I was like, man, that's crazy. But I think that a lot of people kind of in our generation, I would say like 40 and under are starting to wake up. And I don't mean, black people also, but other races, Hispanics, Middle East, Asian, white people, a lot of people are starting to wake up and realize that a lot of the things that we go through in this country and in the world are bullshit. Like, it's all somebody else's agenda that they keep pushing to divide everybody.
Right.
And they noticing that shit, and they seeing the fuckery every day on the news. Cause we go through this. We've been going through this shit our whole life.
True.
Yeah. Like you said, like you grew up in high shows, and you was like the only black kid in the school or whatever, or in your grade. I felt the same way. Like my neighborhood, it was all black. Everybody through here was all black. So I see all black people when I'm at home. I go to school and it's all white people. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. It's like one other black person in my class. But and if I had a Hispanic person in my class, oh shit.
Boy, what you saying? I had a little Vietnamese boy named Chesley. That was my homie. That was my homie. Me and Chesley, we ran kindergarten, bro.
Yeah.
Chesley.
I'm telling you. But I like the fact that there is so many people waking up and starting to see what's really going on. And, they kind of... The people that are waking up really have a hard time because if you come from, like, a white family who's been known for, like, racist shit, like, at some point, somebody in your family owned slaves or, you know what I'm saying, or was in that shit. So... Right. When you trying to break them generational curses and teach your kids something different, you got to teach them different and explain that shit to everybody else that came before you that don't agree with that shit. So it's like...
They're going to make you an outcast.
Yeah, they definitely going to outcast you. And like, that's a tough thing to deal with. I was talking to a friend of mine yesterday and she was asking me, like what the hell is going on? Like, why... Especially with the riots, and she was really concerned about like the riots and the looting and all that stuff. Like that was really her question. She was like, why are they tearing up and stealing all this shit? And I was like, well, after you go through so much shit as a black person, day after day, year after year, decades, hundreds of years of the same shit,
you gonna get tired.
You gonna get tired of it. Like Pac said, you sitting outside the door. Hungry, trying to be nice. Hey, can I have something to eat? No. Slam the door in your face. Hey, can I please have something to eat? No. They slam the door in your face. Then you start singing. Please, can I have something to eat? We are hungry. Please let us in. Then next day, niggas get mad. We picking the lock coming through blasting because you ignoring shit.
Right.
And you know what's crazy? I didn't mean to cut you off.
What's up?
But I gave. I was in high school, and I went to the whitest high school in Gaston County. I went to North Gaston. And I'm sorry, hey, not good. Hey, we stand up though. I'm proud of it. But I actually played that for my English teacher, who was a white lady in class. That same Tupac video.
Oh, for real?
Yeah, I did it. I always want to go against the grain.
Yeah. Me too.
I did it at school. I did it at church. Black History at church was whatever I want to talk about. I talked about Stevie Wonder. It didn't even matter. One time I spit some Kanye lyrics, and then that's just me. I like to inform people and stuff, but it is true what he say though.
Yeah.
And I was thinking about that too. I was like, bro, like, this has a purpose. Don't think it don't. Like riots and it has a purpose, and we ain't the first to do it, and we ain't the best to do it.
Mm-hmm.
It's just that's part of a that's a type of protest, and everybody's not made to riot. Now some of these jokers just rioting. They only rioting because they want to steal something,
and that's what I told them.
It is bad. It is, and I'm not making no excuse for them because that's not correct.
Mm-hmm.
But it's so. But that don't spoil the whole. One apple don't spoil the whole bunch. One bad apple don't. So you can't act like, well, all right, is y'all out here, y'all riding, protesting, burning, doing us, but it's for a good reason.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if you're not being heard, I tried to explain to somebody how, and it was actually a Hispanic person. I tried to explain to him that us as black people, we suffer from PTSD.
Mm-hmm.
They couldn't understand it. They was like, why, sometimes black people, why are y'all so angry?
Mm-hmm.
Why y'all always complain?
Right.
I said, it's not complaining. I said, think about this. I had to recognize that my grandma was a maid and helped raise white kids.
Yeah.
And they didn't pay her nothing but pennies.
Mm-hmm.
And they still called her the N-word.
Yeah.
To think of your grandma who you love, who give you all the kisses and hugs, the peanut butter and jelly sandwich. Hey, you like my grandma, she give you a frozen pizza in the microwave and you still ate that soggy, floppy stuff. And you still loved it. That's your grandma.
Yeah.
And you have to think of them in that way. Of course we have that.
Mm-hmm.
And then you got the media that when something does happen,
Mm-hmm.
we see it on the TV. It's right there.
Yeah.
We just seen a man get choked out by a knee on his neck.
Mm-hmm.
We just seen a little boy playing in the park. Mind you, when I heard Tamir Rice, that hurt me to the core, bro. It just hurt me.
Mm-hmm.
He playing in the park with a toy gun. I played with toy guns.
Yeah.
Well, it didn't have the orange tip on it. I ain't have an orange tip on mine. If you go to the dollar store, everything ain't got no orange tip on it. It's
Hell
cheap.
no. And then, like, if you was like us, man, shoot, you. Exactly.
And
you want to make it look real.
Real.
Like, yeah, I don't want that
And
little
you
orange
see
tip
what
on
I'm
my
saying?
shit.
But why do we got to deal with that? I don't, it's just, I think if people would just get outside themselves and not worry about feeling like they're wrong or like us as black people are pointing fingers at you, and just listen to us.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Just listen.
For sure.
Bro, we just like you, man. My dad was the most peaceful person that I know. But for one, he could never, ever watch any black movie without getting angry. And I used to the Roots come on TV. My daddy would not watch it. He wouldn't watch Roots. And Lord, he wasn't watching no Rosewood.
That was the one I was about to say, too.
And it's sad that we got to feel like that. Because my dad always taught me to love everybody. It don't matter your color, your race. First of all, race is a false sign. It's not even real.
Yeah.
It's just something. I feel like race is just something they use to help push capitalism. Because if you can devise something that gives you these social statuses, because race is, half of your social status is based on race and economic wealth, and your economic wealth sometimes is, majority of the times it's affected by what color y'all.
Yeah, I mean, there ain't but one person on this earth that could be racist. I mean, I hate to say it like that, and it's white people. It's white people, because we don't have the power to be racist. Because racists are the ones who can control somebody's economic status and their ability to maneuver in their life.
Yeah.
And we don't have that kind of power. I can't control nobody else's economic status. Nobody brown or yellow can do that.
Because even if you go back to the times when they was building pyramids in Egypt, enslaving somebody, they only enslaved them. It's because they were a different color. It's been there, and it was all for economic gain, power. That's all it is. And I feel like it's stupid that we go through this all the time when all we have to do is sit down and listen to each other, bro. That's it.
That's why that's what I told my homegirl too. You had something you were gonna add?
I was gonna say, you remember back when you was probably like just graduated high school. We was trying to help that white guy from going to the black part of the neighborhood. End up getting jumped on.
Oh,
we got the police called on us. We were trying to save this dude's life,
bro.
And I'm saying,
yeah,
and it was
telling the truth
in the back, and they was like, "Get your hand." Police don't pull us over, and everything. Had their guns drawn on us. I'm saying they're gonna get out the car. They had us in somebody's yard. Sitting there, they had us face down at first.
Yeah.
But then after they pat us down, they was like, "All right, sit up, sit Indian style with your hands on your head." They searched the car, and it was like, we used to go to Walmart late night, 3-4 o'clock in the morning, playing around, and we used to have a little toy gun in the car. So I'm saying, just imagine if we'd still had that toy gun in the car, and they would have found it, they probably could have killed us. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, just off suspicion alone,
because
or fear of
gun, not knowing that it's plastic fake. Because I think it was like one of them little revolvers at the time.
Okay, I got you.
You know what I'm saying? With a little cap gun. It wasn't plastic. That
they had some weight. Yeah.
So they could have thought it was a real gun. And,
for sure.
You know what I mean? We could have been in that situation.
I don't know if you remember, but because first of all, that whole story, we was just in there playing pool, and they said the white people they passed us, they seen us, and then they seen the other people who were messing with them too. But they seen us. They looked me dead in my eye because I know they did. Because I remember. But anyway, they left. And I admit, we did some dumb stuff too. Because we sitting there, we was like, oh, shoot, something popping off.
Yeah.
And, and they got us. And I ain't going to lie, y'all. That was dope. Man, I remember that day I watched Hurricane Carter. You remember Hurricane? With Denzel Linden.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And they got wrongfully accused.
Yeah.
Bro.
That's how we felt.
I thought I felt like that. And I started crying like a mug, boy. I ain't even gonna lie. I'm going. I said, man, I need my mama.
Nigga saw his life flash before his eyes.
I said, oh, and Ron, he out there, Ron, put your hands out the window, bro. Because, bro, I looked in my mirror.
Damn.
And I promise you, they popped the dirt. As soon as I seen them pop, I was like, oh, God, I'm about to die. I said, I'm about to die.
But I'm like, they'll tell me with my hands up. I got my hands up, but I'm like, I can't put them no higher because I'm in the back seat and it's on the back window. So what do you want me to do? You know what I'm saying? But I'm saying that just made me think of that, like, you know what I mean?
Well, that's I keep that memory, bro. I keep it.
That's wild. I mean, and just think.
But
like,
I said that was like, what, almost 15, almost about 15 years?
Yeah.
No.
It had to be longer than that.
Because it was me, you, and Josh.
Yeah, it was about 20 years ago. Because I'm saying it was about 1920 because I was finna graduate high school then. So, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. So, if we go back
that's
far,
20 years.
And look where we at now. Still the same damn thing. You know what I'm saying?
And that's what I was explaining to her. But at the end of the conversation, I thanked her for reaching out to me and talking to me about it. Because, I mean, a lot of where we want to go depends on having them types of conversations. You know what I'm saying?
A lot of it's some people pride, too, though, because, you know, they don't want to give up. Like, they're going, well, I don't want to believe in this because it's their pride. You know what I mean? That's something that they done heard or they done been fed through their whole life.
And that's all races. You know what I'm saying? True. That's how everybody gets brought up. Like, for older generations are stuck in their ways, they want to teach you that
way.
And a lot of the stuff that we do it's just learned through those teachings. You know what I'm saying? And that's why, like, whenever at the end of the movie Higher Learning, where it was all said and done, they had their little cap and gowns on, and then the last scene of that movie, the word unlearn popped up on the screen. And like that shit made me realize back then, I was like, damn, what unlearn mean? And I was always like pulling out dictionaries and shit. I got that from my mama. Like, she would just tell me about how she used to sit and read the dictionary, and I got that shit from her. So I went and looked it up, and it made me realize that a lot of the stuff that we have come to know is all bullshit. And you gotta unlearn a lot of the bad habits that we've been taught,
bro. Because we taught all this bull, and then at the end of the day, we ain't taught generational wealth.
No.
We ain't taught how to manage money.
No.
We ain't taught that you buying some sneakers made by Jordan that was made back in the day. You paying more for it now than you did back then, but we still do it, and we fiend for this stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just, and all it is. And I remember one of my favorite Wale songs is White Shoes,
Mm-hmm.
and it talks about that. We look at certain things as statuses,
Yeah.
and it's sad because a little poor kid would do all he got to do. Because I did a poem about it, and I broke it down between the person who picked on him and him.
Okay.
And it's sad he do all he have to do to get those white shoes, to get those sneakers.
Mm-hmm.
But then you still just another.
Well, use another Wale song.
You still that.
That Sue Me. I'm saying, if you see the video, that pretty much goes through everything we talking about, but it's going, the video is showing it from the white perspective.
Yeah.
I'm saying that we're the white people as black people in the video. So I'm saying you got a white dude that's going through everything that we had to. Like, one of the parts of the video is the dude and some of his friends at a cafe, but you have people that's watching you like you doing something, and then you get thrown out. You know what I'm saying? So that's something that, like I said, his white shoes, you doing everything that we can as black people in our power to abide by the rules, but at the same time, you still have those negative people that want to bring negativity towards you and make it feel like you're doing something wrong when you're not the one that's doing anything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
and this is the last thing I'm gonna say before we start wrapping up. But like, and I kind of told her that too. I was like, me as a black man, I've been in this situation a bunch of times where it's like you go into an all-white establishment and you get looks, you get judged, hell, you might not even get served.
right.
But if a white person come into an all-black establishment, ain't no problems.
Exactly.
We ain't, you come in and do whatever,
You're just a regular
Like-
person like I am,
Right.
just different color.
like, and that's, and that, it don't add up, but it shows in the way that we live and the things that we see on the news every day, like the shit that the media perpetuates to everybody. And I mean, and they're behind a lot of it too, because even with the whole issue with the man in Minnesota, he you didn't really see none of this shit on the media till the riot started.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like, just the incident wasn't being reported by Fox News and all them folks. When the protests and the backlash started, that's when you started seeing that shit on the media, like big time.
Because they was trying to get it out there, and they're like, we're not hiding anything. But I'm saying, it seemed like you was, because like I said, before all that started happening, the only thing you know was a man that got killed. Y'all showed the video of him, knee on his neck. But then after, like you said, the backlash happened, now you showing video from the store cameras, the footage. You showing this footage. You showing that footage.
Yep.
What was all that at the beginning, so you could have got down to the bottom of this before all the backlash really started happening? You see what I'm saying?
And it was like 2-3 days after the fact, you know what I'm saying?
Right?
So, but the last time I asked y'all, so after all of that's been said about everything, about all the stuff that's happened and everything, so where do you think, where do we go from here? You know what I'm saying? Like, as far as like trying to first get around this because this ain't even over. I mean, they protesting in Charlotte and Minnesota and Atlanta and California, everywhere. So, like, I mean, like, where do you think we as humans, not even just black people, white people, whatever color, blue, green, yellow, purple, where do we go from here to kind of make shit better? Maybe?
I'm saying it all starts at the top. I'm saying, you know what I mean? I ain't gonna say nothing bad about our president, you know what I mean? But at the same time, it starts from there.
Okay.
I'm saying, you know what I mean? He has the power, but really he don't have the power to make choices. He can persuade, but, you know, it has to go through a vote. But I'm saying if he persuade this vote to go through, then it's gonna go through.
Right.
So I'm saying it starts at the top because, you know what I'm saying, like you said with the statuses and economic thing, look at his background, money.
Yeah,
I'm saying, look at us. I ain't saying we poor, but we in the middle class, almost lower class. So I'm saying it shouldn't be like that. Everybody should be able to be equal. But I'm saying it starts at the top. And that's just the way I look at it, you know what I mean?
For sure.
Well, I think my answer comes in about 2 or 3 fold. The first part is this. Regardless of what you believe in something. Whether it's, look, I believe in Jesus Christ. You can believe in Allah. You can believe in whatever gives you that moral standing ground. Believe in it, and use it. Take what it says to heart, and decipher it for yourself, and find some good in it. I know one of my favorite rappers, Common, said, "You can find good in all of them. You can find some good in all of those teachings. Find your moral ground and stand on it. Don't, you know what's moral and immoral.
Right.
You're not stupid. Us as human beings, we done been on this earth, and we ain't even been on this earth that long. This earth is
Earth way older than we are.
older than we are.
Right.
Technically, we infants in this thing. But we've been on it long enough to learn how to walk and crawl. So walk in the right steps. Walk in the right morals. And then 2, learn empathy.
For sure.
Not sympathy. I don't want you to sympathize with me.
Yeah.
I want you to understand it.
That's big.
Just don't think we want you to go back and say, well, yeah, my ancestors, they owned slaves. I'm so sorry. No, that's cool. You can apologize. But at the end of the day, I'm not even asking you to do that. I just want you to understand. So when you see these wrong things happening, don't try to make excuses for it. You know what I'm saying? Don't try to make excuses. Well, he could have been doing this. He could have, he could have not. But at the end of the day, is it unjust?
Right.
Is it wrong?
How would you feel if it was if the shoe was on the other foot? You know what I'm saying?
Show empathy. And then 3, man, look, you breathe the same breath I breathe. Your breath, your air don't taste like strawberries, and mine don't either. They all taste the same nasty. So at the end of the day, we got the same breath.
Yeah.
We got the same life. Only thing that's different in us is our DNA. And that's fine. But don't look at your brother. And if anybody knows me, I got white people brother, Asian brother, Mexican. It don't matter. You my brother and my sister, because we're all flesh, bones, and air. That's all we are. And your time on this earth, y'all, we can change this. Now I know I'm not naive, and I know I don't believe in a utopia, because I believe that everybody has freedom of choice. So you can choose to be hateful if you want. But love always conquers hate, y'all. It don't, no matter what the media might print out and what it might show you, love always conquers hate. And just know that, bro, all we got to do is love each other, work together. You might not see it. Your daughter might not see it. Your son might not see it. But they sons or they granddaughters, they will see the change. It'll happen.
Yeah.
But we can't act like racism ain't here. It is what it is. It's just a different type of hate, y'all. And hate always exists, because there won't be no love without hate.
For sure. Yeah, man. Y'all, I mean, y'all made some good points for sure. I definitely think that from here, like I said, man, I really just want people to have those conversations. You know what I'm saying? Like when you have those conversations and you come into it like you actually care about what's being said, then everybody grows from that. Like the person that comes to the other person, the person that they come to, like everybody grows from that situation, and everybody can benefit from growth in helping each other, the whole society, the whole world, in all kinds of racism. Like, will it ever end? Probably not. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I want to be optimistic and say, yeah, racism gonna end one day. But I mean, the way that the powers that be work, it probably won't. But through those conversations, we can make a hell of a step to fuck up their establishment and throw everything off. Because when they see people coming together and spending their money and their time on things that's gonna better them, like you said, that financial education that we really didn't have growing up as black people. I mean, the black dollar powerful. You know what I'm saying? We take our dollar instead of going and looting and rioting and burning buildings down. We take our dollars out of their stores.
Building, bro.
We just take our dollars out their stores.
Yeah.
And they gonna be like, oh, we fucked up. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I mean, with me, it's just from here. Have those conversations. Are we mad? Hell yeah, we mad. We mad as fuck. Shit. Like, this ain't no joke. Like, brothers and sisters dying in the streets. We scared to send our kids places.
Right.
We scared to go places. We should be. But at the end of the day, if we start talking about it and being real about the conversations that we have, shit gonna get better, man. For real. I think it will. And I mean, that's really all I had to say on it. But I appreciate y'all guys for coming out, man. Hollering at me, sliding through. Hollering at me, you know what I'm saying? I'll be doing it again. Hit y'all up. Come through. Y'all got anything coming up? Anything on social media you got popping? Anything? I know this nigga be gaming. You be working on things a little bit.
I'm working on I got my book done. I gotta get it published.
All right.
But I'm working on that.
For sure.
And it's hard to create right now because it ain't no. It's hard to get people out.
Yeah.
You know, the Rona got everybody locked down.
For sure.
You know, so it's hard. But I did some poetry online because I had to try to, share some love during this time. Because I was listening to people talk about how I'm tired of seeing him. He in the house with me all the time. Mm-hmm. And I did a live poetry thing with some poets from South Carolina. Shout out to all the poets from South Carolina that came through. And we did some live poetry called Lover's Language. Sorry about that. It's called Lover's Language. And
cool.
It was a good experience. I think more people that could be something that could happen. It could be something that could happen.
See, look, there you go. That's a platform you can start, man.
It could happen.
That's what's up.
And I'm not saying they ain't even been started because I don't know yet. But I know I felt good about it.
That's what's up.
So that could happen. But other than that, man, just working on the podcast with you, chilling.
All right.
Doing this thing. Shoot. Next time I'm coming in here cutting up though.
All right, yeah.
My boy Chris made me be he made me be not militant but thoughtful this time.
Yeah. I was trying not to be.
You gonna bring your Malcolm X out? Though,
yeah, I was trying not to be too militant on this shit, man. I tried not to.
I don't want to spew hate language. You know what I'm saying?
I feel you don't. But like I said, man, like
I just want to educate, man. Share that love, man.
Yeah,
that's what I'm about.
Yeah, I mean that's like I said, that's what it's about, man. Like conversations and all that shit. I don't want to be militant, but I bring that shit out.
Man,
Ain't no problem.
Man, he will, man. Y'all
Ain't
don't
no
see
problem.
this. He got medallions hanging from the wall. And so he will do it. But nah, I'm just saying, you know.
But I mean,
And when you hit me up, bro, I'll be honest with you. I felt like I was like, yeah. Because at first I was like, maybe we need to mix it in there and lighten the moment up, you know.
And what I tell you,
like, nah. Then I just thought about it. I was like, bro, it really what it was. I'll be honest with you. Some of the stuff we talked about bothers me. It don't bother me a lot, but I was like, nah, he ain't gonna get me on camera crying. I ain't doing it.
I mean, if it come to that, then that's that. I mean, that's real though.
It do, because you know what?
Yeah.
I seen my boy Killer Mike. I wish I was as articulate as Killer Mike. I ain't there yet, but I'm getting there. But when I seen him cry on camera, I was like, bruh, that's real. You know what I'm saying? And what he said was real. So if you ain't seen it, go look it up. Look at the clip and look at what he said. I think it was an interview on CNN, and he was talking. And he was giving the real about Atlanta, which is a city I love. I ain't from Atlanta, but I would move there if I had my own business. I would move to Atlanta.
I feel you.
You know, but when you, like I said, when you gave it to me, I was like, shoot.
Yeah.
You about to make me get serious already? Like,
yeah, man.
I'm ready to cut up and toss some trash to Ron.
I was too, man. I was ready to get on. And
hey, look, y'all know I'm king to talk shit, so
we're gonna go in.
But we gonna go in next time, bro. Like,
sure.
I want y'all to know, just keep tuning in. That when every time I work with Chris, it's done been. Look, I don't know what I told him. It's always been flames, man. And I'm this gonna be flames too, and we gonna build this thing, man. Y'all just remember this. This the first episode, and these faces you see in here, and some more, you will see, and y'all will see them a lot. And we gonna keep doing this as long as y'all support.
For sure, man.
And even
we're gonna keep it coming.
We gonna still pedal this thing out to y'all.
Yeah, man. We're gonna keep it coming, man.
Yeah,
for sure. And like I said, I appreciate everybody that's supported me from the jump. Anyway, check out my YouTube channel. The Visionaries Corner is still up and going. I got episodes on there. Still be making beats. Check me out on BeatStars, all that stuff. You know what I'm saying? Instagram, Boondock Slim, Iron Mountain Productions. Check it out. But till next time, man, you know what it is. When you ready to come through, slide through. Peace.